Welcome back to Julie's Wreath Boutique. Today, we're going to learn how to make roses out of ribbon. Yep, I'm going to show you how to use two different ribbons together, and I'm going to show you how to make your own roses with ribbon. And then I get this old wreath that I've had for like 4 years, and we're going to recycle it. We're going to take it apart. We're going to use our roses, and we are going to make a beautiful wreath for my front door. So let's get started. So let's try something different. I need to decorate for fall. I'm a little behind on the game here at my house. My little girl Madeline has all of our pumpkins, all of our little fake pumpkins. She has them all lined up in the living room and she is ready to decorate. She has definitely caught that decorating gene from her mama. So I figured, well, I want to do something different for my front door. I don't really put flowers on my front door. I know, guys, I'm kind of known for the flower wreath, but I don't put them on my front door. I think I've made too many. So what I want to do is I have this wreath here. I'm going to just kind of show it to you. This is a wreath I made four years ago. And so basically what we're going to do is we're going to recycle that wreath. We're going to take all the stuff off. I might use some of the greenery on it, but we're going to recycle it. And that's what I want to share with you is you can recycle your wreaths. And one of the main things I want to teach you today is how to make a rosette flower to put on your wreath. And I want to show you how to do it with 2 ribbons. Okay, so these ribbons, that way you can kind of coordinate everything and then you can make a nice, beautiful bow and have some of the bow match what's actually in your rosettes. So if you just heard the elephants, they just ran across the floor. So my workspace is in the basement, and I've explained that to you guys before. Someday soon, I will have a different workspace, but for right now, that's what we have, and so we're going to use it. So all I'm going to start off with are 2.5-inch wired ribbon, and honestly, if you didn't have wired ribbon, that would be okay too. I don't really feel like the wire ribbon really makes a huge difference in this, and if you just wanted to use a burlap ribbon, anywhere from 2.5 to 3 inches would be fine, okay? But this is what I'm going to do. So let's take this one that I did was 18 inches in length in ribbon. So for this one, we're going to do a little bit smaller, and I might do a bigger one too, but I'm going to cut 1 yard of each of these ribbons. So cut 1 yard of each of them. This is why I love like my rotary mat, because I can measure everything and it just makes it so much easier. Again, all of the tools that I use, you can buy in my Amazon shop, and the link is in the description box below. And I'm going to cut this, and then I'm going to set that to the side. And there are 2 sides to this ribbon. You can kind of see the wire here. So I'm going to do this. We're going to overlay it, each one here. And I'm going to just like glue it just ever so little bit, and I'm going to kind of go in the middle here, and I'm going to use it. This has Gorilla Glue sticks in it, and then you're just going to be really careful. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect, but I do want them to kind of match up. So that's your first thing. Glue a little bit here and there. You don't need a lot of glue. I probably put too much glue right there, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Just put a dot there and just glue it, and then come back and I'll show you the first step here. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of cut, make sure my edges are even here. And then over here, I wasn't quite there. All right. So it really doesn't matter if you want to start with the burlap side up or the leopard print ups, it doesn't matter, okay? I'm going to start with the leopard print this way because I think I did it the reverse the last way. I'm going to put a little bit of glue, and you're just going to take and you're going to roll over or fold over that first section there, okay? Let that glue set up. You don't have to add this glue part, but I just feel like it helps. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue to kind of get us started here because we're going to roll it. Now be careful with your fingers. You can get little finger protectors You can do that, and you may want to do that, but I'm just going to keep rolling it. I'm going to add just another bit of glue, just a dot. Just going to keep rolling it, okay? So now here's the trick. We're just going to keep twisting it. So I'm going to hold this with my left finger, and I'm just going to bend it back, and I'm just going to twist it. I'm going to roll it in is basically what I want to do. And basically we're just going to keep twisting it again, and we're going to roll. And we're going to twist it back again, and we're going to roll. Okay, you're going to just hold it. I've been making burlap flowers for a really long time, but I never thought about using this size of ribbon until now. I actually saw somebody else on Pinterest. I think it was 6cleversisters.com. They did theirs a little different than what I'm doing mine, but I just kind of thought, okay, what about using 2 ribbons? And that's kind of what I just decided to do. And you're just going to keep rolling it like so and just twisting it. And just hold on to it, okay? It's going to come together here. And you're just kind of twisting it back. And I haven't put any more glue here, so I'm going to kind of pull that one a little bit tighter there. This one is going to make a little bit smaller of a ribbon, a rose for us, and then I'm going to kind of just bend it back, okay? So I'm going to hold it like that. So let's look at it. So that's 1.5 yards of ribbon. This is 1 yard of ribbon, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and this is what I did learn from the 6cleversisters.com, is they took a bobby pin. Is that what you guys call it? And they were able to get theirs through a little bit easier than mine because they were just using like the burlap ribbon. Because I'm using 2 different kinds of ribbon here, that's not, you know, has the like that has a lot of holes, that does not, but that's okay. We just want to kind of help it, kind of help hold it, okay? So at this point, you're going to go through and you're going to start putting glue where you can, and then you're just going to kind of hold it and hold it in place. So I'm going to have this up, and I'm going to take my glue gun, and I'm going to stick my glue gun pretty down far deep in there because we don't want any glue. See how I'm doing like 3 layers at once there, and then I'm just going to hold it. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put some glue. And I'm just going to hold it. You're going to let that dry, and you're going to go all the way around and glue every little part that you think has like a spot that could come undone until you don't, and you'll know it'll become pretty solid. So I'm going to come over here, some more glue, and then I'm really just kind of sticking my glue gun down into that ribbon. Okay, that's also why when I started it, I wanted to make sure I started it with some glue. Okay, so sometimes you're able just to stick it right through the center like I did, this one. I was able to stick it through and it came through. Sometimes you need to work it through like a piece at the bottom. And this one I think has too much glue in the middle, so that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of stick it through this side piece here. So whichever way that you can get it through is what you want to do. All right, so you could just do that. And then what I would do, let's pull this like so, is I would just put some glue down there and let that, come on Julie, and just let that dry, okay? So that's one way. Like with this one, I was able to go right through the center. I also think that if you were using just the brown burlap, it would be a lot easier to do. The fabric ribbon, it gets a little bit harder to do, but sometimes I can pull it through. Sometimes I need to do that. And then the other times I'm going to show you how, by making a bigger one, we're gonna just add the wire into it. Okay, so let me grab another piece of wire. It's 22 gauge. I'm just gonna take my wire. I'm going to start by bending over, and we're gonna do the same exact thing we just did, okay? So I'm gonna glue a little bit down, okay? But then I'm gonna take my wire and I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna see if I can go through both of those. Let's see here. Maybe take a little sharp scissor, because I wanted to go through the ribbon. There we go. I love those scissors. They're in my Amazon shop. I've had this pair for at least 20 years. I kid you not. They're actually scrapbooking scissors, but I find them very handy with crafting so many things. Okay. All right. So then I'm going to put a little bit of glue here like I showed you before. And we're just going to roll it over so it rolls right over our stem here. And if you wanted to use pipe cleaners because that's what you had, you could do that too. All right, and so you're just gonna roll. I just like to use a little bit of glue to kind of hold that center together for us, okay? So I'm gonna bring my ribbon over here behind me, and we're just gonna start doing what I showed you before. And this is gonna make a bigger rosette. I'm just gonna go, and I'm just gonna wrap. I'm gonna bend back. It's kind of like a twist and a roll. Twist and a roll. All right, so here is the wreath, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with this. I'm just tired of the way it looks. So I want to give it an update, and I know it's a little hard to see everything. So I've already wrapped the bow, Julie, that's just a bow. So I'm going to put that away. And then some of the stuff, I'm like, oh, it's pretty. So all you're going to do is you're just going to decide, okay, what do I want to use? What do I want to keep? And I think that a lot of this is really pretty. All I did was I used Greenery, and I put it in there and I glued it in. And then these are some just fall leaves that I had, but I kind of feel like I want something a little different. So let's see what these look like with my leaves. They do kind of go, don't they? So we could leave some of those in. So what I'm going to do is I'm making lots of noise here. I'm going to trim some of this out because we're going to add some new stuff. So whether or not you want to keep what you've had or add new, this is what we're going to do. Recycle your wreath, okay? And then take your clippers, and I think I'm going to just kind of cut some of these. And then I'll leave a few here. Let's see here. I don't know about the little acorns. Let's get rid of the acorns there. And I set them to the side because you know what? I might add them down here. I might add them a little bit over in a different area. So I just want to let's just make these a little bit sparser. So I'm not really sure. Let's get rid of some of these things that are sticking out here. So before we do anything else, we're going to make a simple bow. All right, so let's get our ribbon out for that. So because I want to use the coordinating ribbon, now this certain ribbon that I used did come from Trendy Tree. It's 10 yards a roll, and I will probably use about the whole roll by the time I've made these little rosettes. I put TT here for Trendy Tree because I get a lot of ribbon from a lot of different places, so I like to remind myself, where did I get that from? So all we're going to do is we're going to make a tail of about 8 inches long, okay? Let's do 9 inches, and I'm going to just gather it, and we're just going to make, let's do 9 inches loop. Let's keep it all 9, okay? So we're going to do 9, do another 9, and cut it at 9 inches, okay? So I'm going to cut that. I'm going to just hold that. And we're not so much like going for like a certain look as we are, we're just wanting a pop of ribbon coming out. So I'm going to take my other ribbon. This happened to come from Hobby Lobby, but I know that these places, Trendy Tree, the Wreath Shop and Mel's Crafty Mojo. Those are the three places that I like to work with online, and even Michael's. They will have something similar. So let's do the same thing. We're gonna have a 9-inch tail. And I'm just gonna hold it with my right hand, or my left hand, I should say. I'm gonna make a bow here. And I'm gonna make another bow. 9 inches both times, okay? And we're gonna cut the tail. That sounds good. Because you know we're gonna trim this in a little bit, okay? So we got that, we got that. Ooh, I let go, don't let go, okay? So I just wanna kind of put, I think that's pretty. I don't want a huge bow on this wreath. I am going to grab a wire. I'm going to go over top of that. And I'm just going to twist it really good. All right, so basically I just want loops and tails, okay? That's it. That's all there is to this bow. Not a whole lot. I'm going to take it where the old bow went. I'm gonna find a spot that I can go through here. And I like the black because I just painted my door black, and I think this will really, you know, make it pop. And I just want to go down there, and I'm just going to twist it on. Simple, simple bow. Anybody can make it. Everything was 9 inches, okay? So I'm just twisting it. Hold on. Twist. And then I'm just going to take it, and I'm going to put my wires back into my grapevine. I'm not going to glue anything down because, listen, I might want to recycle this again next year. All right, so we're going to just leave all that as is. And now let's add some of our rosettes, okay? We're gonna do this big one down here. I'm gonna go through the grapevine, just find out where you wanna go through it. And you're just gonna tie it down. And if you wanna add a little bit of glue underneath of the rosette, you could do that, most definitely, okay? And just twist that on the back. Grab another one of the big ones, and let's put that up top here. There's no real, like, let's do this here for this reason. I'm not that, I don't have the training in floral design, guys. I just don't. I'm just kind of doing what I feel looks good. And that's what I want you to encourage you to do, is just have fun with it, okay? It's just a different way to use some different flowers that can kind of correspond with our bow here. So I'm going to twist that and push that back in. And then I'm going to add, let's see here, maybe we'll add one here. We've got 3 we can add at the bottom. I'm going to add some more, and then I will come back and you'll kind of see where I added them. Okay, so kind of let's go over what we've done. I took a wreath. This is a grapevine wreath, and oh, this is about, let's see here. This wreath itself is about an 18-inch round wreath, okay? You can get them at Hobby Lobby. You can get them at Walmart. You can get them Michael's, Joann's. Any of your local craft stores probably has these wreaths, okay? I had made this is kind of a recycled wreath. I had this kind of long flowing greenery. I like a little bit of green in my wreath, and I had some of these really just kind of fall leaves. That's it. So I had made this wreath in like 15 minutes 4 years ago, stuck some greenery in it, stuck some of this. So what I did was I cut out some of the leaves here. So we're going to add some of that back into our wreath. We've added 5 of our rosettes, and I did not glue any of these rosettes down. I kept the wires long so that if I want to use this on a different project, I can. So I'm not limited to keeping it here. So what I want to do is I want to look at the bow real quick, and then we're going to start adding other things. So I want to take, I think that's too long. So I'm just going to take my scissors here, and I'm just going to cut any size that you want, and you're just kind of eyeball it. That's what I'm doing. Nothing that fancy, just kind of making it look pretty. I like the V cut there, so I'm going to cut this side too, and I'm just going to make sure that it doesn't stick out too much. I want to make sure you can see what I'm doing here. I guess this is called dovetailing, I think. So let me see, that shows the wire, so I want to just twist that over at the base. Just go to the base and twist it. And then I'm just going to fold it over and put my V in there. Okay, so now that we've got that done, you can kind of look at your ribbon and say, that's the way I want it. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So now let's just kind of fill in. I'm going to take some of the things that I already previously cut out. We're going to add it back. So you just take your glue gun, and this is called recycling. Because my front door isn't going to get that much of sun compared to maybe somebody's door that's, you know, facing, let's see, due west or due east. I think my door faces south, and it has a pretty good, this is a different leaf I should add. I just like that these colors, I feel like they all go really well together. These came from Hobby Lobby. Basically, they come in the pick section, if that's the right word. $2.99, 40% off. It's a good deal. So I'm just going to keep adding through here until I like the way it looks. I'm going to put some underneath some of these rosettes. And I like the Grapevine Wreath look for fall because it's just very earthy. So let's just go around here, and then I'm probably going to stand up and just add a little bit. So I'll just film me doing this. I will probably put this in a fast forward motion and let you see what I do. I have some of these. I think those colors are really pretty. I feel like this leopard or cheetah, I don't know, what do you call it? Tell me in the comments below. I feel like these colors are really on point for 2021. So I'm just going to keep filling it in until I feel like it feels really nice and full. All you're going to do is find spots that you need to add more. So I'm going to take a full one here, and I'm just going to add it underneath. Now, I know that there are a lot of wreath makers who make these types of wreaths all the time, and they are fabulous at it. And they have one of those stands. I probably should get a stand, but I really don't have anywhere to film where I could show you a good area. So I'm just kind of looking at it and just kind of holding it up. If you don't have a stand, this is what I'm doing, okay? But this is pretty much the finished product. I don't know if you can see it all, but it's just a totally different wreath. The other wreath was very simple. It had two things. It had one bush of leaves and this greenery that's kind of poking through now. And so then I added my pretty little homemade rosette roses. We added a really simple bow that you can just kind of play around with. I might trim these tails just a tad bit more. We'll see when I get it up on my door. And then I just added a few more pops of color, and I think it's really pretty, guys. I'm really happy with it. I know it's hard to see, but I will show you. You'll see the picture at the beginning, and you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about. But listen, if you've made it this far in the video, please leave me a rose, an emoji, flower, rose, whatever. If you can. I know not everybody can. That's okay. But make sure you click on all my social media links below. Make sure you're following me there. Make sure you're subscribed to me here on YouTube. And until next time, we will see you in Julie's Wreath Boutique. Bye-bye.